All right, folks, Ryan here with a brand new video, brand new live. Don't forget, folks, like and subscribe. Help out your boy to get out into the YouTube universe because we are doing this work here and to see if we can reach other people. And we're talking about the topic of resentment and how that has destroyed so many of us, destroyed our lives, destroyed our relationships, our livelihood, and get us into situations which we most likely did not want to be in. So here we go. We're gonna look at this a different way. Hey, Christy, we're gonna look at this a different way now. We're gonna look at it from we're gonna come from how can we bring peace and calm into our lives. We're gonna come from that angle. It's the same, but just coming from a different angle. It's the opposite of resentment, because we understand what resentment is. It is something that happens to you in the past and you are still bitter about it. Now it's running your life and you are acting in a way that you don't really have much control of, because you are just running from emotions, running from your programs, running from your trauma, and you are not really sitting down for a second to think about what you are really doing. So that's just how resentment operates. All right. So we're gonna come from a different angle from to bring it home here. And we're talking about bringing peace and calm to your life. There are things that you can do to get the process started. And there are some things I recommend that you probably should do in the beginning. So, in the beginning, when this feeling kicks in, the negative emotions kicks in, and you are trying to look for some relief because you do not want to be in mental agony all day. None of us do. We want peace, pretty much, right? Hi, Camila. Uh, so we do not want mental agony. We want peace. I think most of us prefer peace and calm and balance in our life. All right? In our lives. So we're gonna come from that angle. Some things that you can do. One thing I recommend. I'm doing well, Camila. Appreciate you. I hope you are doing well as well. So uh, um, peace and calm. To get that into your life, I noticed when I did a couple of things, the peace start to, uh, you know, increase, and the calmness start to increase as well. And I have less worries, less anxiety, less triggered. Okay. So here we go now. One, I do not know where you live, what city you live in, but I highly recommend you move to a new city, move to a new town, and I would recommend a more quieter town, somewhere where hardly anybody knows you. That's one way how to start develop the peace of mind, or that's one how to do it. Move to a quieter town. Smaller town would be more ideal. Um, so that we want, because this is what I did, and I noticed that once I made that move, I was far more happier. There was something about it where I didn't have to worry about the stress of the big city and everybody else was going crazy and what the crazy people were doing in a big city. All right, move to a smaller town, quieter town. You can move back to the big city later on. That's fine. And when I start to run and I start working out. I've been doing running and working out for the past 434 days. So over a year. This is the happiest I have ever been in my entire life. So, exercise does, running opens up those endorphins, really releases those endorphins, those chemicals that makes you happier. Running does that for you. All right. Working out. Um, exactly. Christy, I live by the river, so yeah. But anyways, move to a new city. Sorry, move to a smaller town, smaller city, where hardly anybody knows you, and be by yourself for a little bit, because this is important that you take the time off by yourself to recover. You need to recover. Whatever was going on with you in a big city, you need to recover from that. And you need time and you need space to do that. And that's important. And then don't forget, hit the gym, put on your running shoes, and hit the pavement, or the river trail, or something along those lines. All right. And slowly but surely, the resentment, the anxiety, all that stuff, the bitterness, it will begin to reduce, go down. Doesn't mean it's gonna go away right away. But what's gonna happen is, once you start to running and working, start to feel better about yourself, your happiness increases. When your happiness increases, your resentment goes down. That's just how it works. And you put in some work there. But when you move to the city, I do not want you to just sit around on your couch and don't do anything at all. Right? You can do that for a while. That might work. Maybe that might work. Maybe you want to chill out, watch TV. That might work too. But I highly recommend you get on the grind, routine, start to do things that you have never done before. Running, working out. Maybe you live in maybe you want to go get into hunting, small games, and you want to cook, hunt and cook your own food, stuff like that. So yeah, so there are things you can do, so you can substitute running for hiking, bike riding, mountain climbing, and so rock climbing and so forth, backpacking and all that stuff. But it's best if you are out there in nature doing something. It's always better, other than to sit down, because when you sit down, I notice that's when the voices become really, really loud. And maybe you are into meditation and you understand how to deal with the voices when they get so loud. I am not that type of person. I have to get up and move. So I need to be on the run, or be in the gym, or I need to be um, doing the mental exercises, because that helps me a lot, right? So bringing peace and calm to your life, and because that is our goal here. So, one, move to a new city. Two, work out. And three, you run. Four, you start to do the mental exercises, these reps, because the program, I'm sorry, the trauma, slash resentment, slash old information, it needs to washed away, or a good portion of it needs to washed away. That means you're going to replace the old information with new information. So you need new input. How you do new input is by repetition, right? So you're going to look for things that you like. I would say stay away from the crime novels and those ones for now. Later on, you can go back and go read your crime novels, and you like Scarpetta or whatever, that lady that wrote those crazy crime novels. Maybe you can go read her later on. Okay, but as for right now, stay away from that stuff for a little while. And when you get into, because now you need to change your thoughts, change your program, change your mind, change your life. You need a fresh perspective on life, perspective on life, a fresh outlook on life. Maybe there are things I'm not sure what's going on there with that. So maybe that I got distracted by this person here. There's something that's popped up there on my But anyways, yeah. So you need a fresh look at life. You cannot look at life through new eyes with the old information. It's just not gonna happen. So you need new information, new input, so you can see life differently. And this is when you are gonna have to get into the mental exercise. I know a lot of us, we do physical exercises, and that's perfectly fine. Don't get me wrong, I like to see those beautiful physiques. They're amazing. Love seeing them. Men, women walk around with guys walking around with no shirts, and ladies are showing off their physique, and that's cool. A lot of us know how to do that. Even still, for the most part, a lot of us really don't do it, despite the fact that we know it should be done. We make up all types of excuses. Oh, I don't want to go to the gym. I'm too tired and so forth, blah, 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 blah. And the excuse continues. And, but I want you to get into the mental exercise. This is where a lot of us don't put in hardly. I don't know too many people who get up and do the mental exercises, the mental reps. I don't know too many people who do that. And it's just amazing to me why people wouldn't want to do it. And I suspected that they don't know how to do it, or I think they forgot. In school, we used to have to do that in school. Repeat things and memorize them. Because remind you, the reason why repetition works now is because we are no longer children. We are past, most of us, above the age of 7 right now. Once you pass 7 years old, this is when you're gonna have to do repetition. Okay? Before age 7, you just download things like nothing. Yeah, there were no conscious mind. It's just your subconscious mind, and everything just go whoop, download it in there. Easy. All right? But most of us didn't have that awesome programming that our parents should instill into us, put into us. They didn't do that. So now we are trying to change that. We are no longer babies, children. So now we're going to have to do the repetition. And it is hard work in the beginning because you have to put in the reps. Pretty hard to do, right? So this is when we're going to have to do repetition. Day in, day out. Mental exercises. This has to get done. I don't care how hard it is, but we need to do it. Our goal here is to wash away the old programming, the old information, the resentment, the poverty mindset, all of that stuff. We're gonna have to take care of all of those because we have been telling ourselves for so long we only can work at this one job here and so forth, and the whole thing is just based up off of lies, right? So we are going to have to change that and know that we can actually take good care of ourselves. We have the tools within us to develop. We can develop ourselves, work on those tools, pull those tools out and use them to develop and work on ourselves. And a lot of us, we just don't. Like, honestly, like I said, the mental reps, the mental exercises. You see people out there and they look physically, well, they look good. But when you check them mentally, you realize that they only work on one part of the self image, which is the outer part. There's another side to the self image, which is the inside. The book I recommend, it is Psycho Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. It was written back in 1960. He was a plastic surgeon, and he realized when he done these work on these beautiful women, they came back and told him that they don't feel beautiful at all. And that's when he started to look into the self-image, and he studied that for the rest of his life, the self-image psychology. We don't know, you just don't know how important your self-image is. One way how to understand self-image these days, it's a little different now, but typically people will dress up in suits and ties and have these beautiful suits on. It's a reason for it. But these days now, like in California, billionaires walking around in flip-flops and shorts and white t-shirt or whatever, just a t-shirt. So it's not a big of a deal anymore. But typically, people dressed up in suits. It's a reason for that. The image, how you show up into the world. But there's another part of the image, which is internal. When you open up your mouth and people are listening to you. So if you go on any one of these social media, hey, Terrence, when you go to any one of these social media and you hear people start going off and they are talking absolutely violent and crazy and they are just bitter and angry people, that is their self-image. That's the image that they are showing up into the world with. And that is what we are working on changing. That needs to change. You do not want people to catch you talking like that. You can go do that, not telling you how to live. Go live your life however you want. If you think that's cute and that's sexy, go do that. But for the most part, the guy who's going to hire you, the guy who's going to become friends with you and invite you over to his house and all of that, he's going to look at that and be like, no, I'm cool. Do not want to be anywhere near this guy here. This guy doesn't sound like he sounds like he's off of his rockers. He's crazy. Okay, so that's what we want to change. We want to change those harsh, violent, aggressive, hostile words, behavior, and we're gonna do that by influencing ourselves. Okay, because we have to do that. We have to influence ourselves. We have to control our thoughts. So we're gonna influence our thoughts, control it. Our thoughts and our behavior, they are intertwined. Whatever is going on up here, that's exactly what you are going to do out there into the world. I don't care what is going. It's like whenever you see somebody do something, you'd be like, yeah, that person was thinking that long time ago. They finally decide to act on it now. Okay? So you cannot rise any higher than your thoughts. So let's say you are one of those people who are keep on telling yourself that you are a loser and you will never be anything more than what you are. Maybe you're not consciously, maybe you're not doing it, but unconsciously you can hear that little voice when you say, all right, I'm going to start a business, and if the voice was like, no, start a business, you can't do that. Nobody in your family has ever started a business before. And yeah, your Uncle John started a business, and he failed, and then the Uncle Tom started a business and he also failed. So it's like this voice, and this is when you're gonna have to turn it off and start telling yourself, I was born to win, I was born to succeed. You got to catch it. All right? All of us, I mean, not all of us, a good portion of us, we came from that poverty mentality, okay? And it has to change. But like I said, most of us Do not do the mental exercises. It's astonishing to know how many people. It's like I do not know how many people who get up and said, "I'm going to put in those reps to change my thoughts. I want beautiful thoughts." You see, if you want a beautiful body, you go to the gym and you work out every single day, and then you get that beautiful physique, yeah, right? Okay, so beautiful physique, right? Now, beautiful thoughts, because we want to create beautiful thoughts and we want to show up into the world. And when we are speaking, our vocabulary is filled with those beautiful thoughts. We do not want a vocabulary which is full of resentment, hatred, bitterness, hostility. So that's the vocabulary we want to change. Oh, that we want to change that thoughts slash vocabulary. We want to change that, and this is when the mental reps comes in, and we are going to build up, increase those beautiful thoughts. So when we are having conversations, the conversation is about success and happiness and joy and peace and calm and having great friends and get together and do things that to help other people and so forth. Because like I said, the program that we were given when we were children, it's just absolutely crazy when you see how we were programmed wrong, a lot of us, and we are suffering today because of that program that we got when we were as children. Don't forget, folks, while you are here, to like and subscribe and help out your boy to get out in the universe. And this information here, I believe more people needed to hear this information, and we want to help more people to, change their thoughts and change their lives, and reduce the resentment and bring peace and calm into your life, right? So we are dealing with this with the internal image. We are dealing with the internal image. The physical one, I can show you how to do that. I can show anybody how. Hey, you got. Oh well, I don't know if you are going to do it, but I can say, you know what? Why don't you hit the gym 7 days a week, Tyler? Easy, well, not easy, but and you will understand that when you work out, your physical body will change. That old image of you will gone somewhere, wherever it went, and your new physical image will take shape, will come into being. You have to work on that thing to bring it into being. Okay, same thing for your internal image. You have to work on that internal image to bring it into being. And this is when we are talking about, we're gonna do the reps, prayers, affirmations, quotes, building a larger vocabulary, um, personal development. And we're going to read those things and listen to them over and over and over and over and over till we start to memorize them. We have to understand the power of repetition. Okay? And mental exercise takes reps. Just like going down to the gym, it takes a lot of reps in order because if you are a fat person and you are trying to change that image of yourself, you can see how difficult that is. Especially like when you go there, you go for like 6 months and you haven't seen any results. That will just make you quit. But if you understand that quitting is just not going to solve your problem, you will keep on working on it, right? So the mental reps is hard as well, and we understand if we quit, it will not change anything for us. We're gonna be walking around with that bitter vocabulary, right? With that hostile self-image, and we do not want to show up into the world like that. We want to show up into the world loving, kind, caring, peaceful, and the people around us, we want to treat those people well because they deserve to be treated like that. Okay. So, yeah. So, peace and calm. We're going to go over this again. Get under, journey, and start. There might be some little nuances there, which I probably would have to, sit down with an individual and really explain certain things to them. But for the most part, to get started, I would say move to a smaller town, move to a smaller city. That would be my one of me, where hardly anybody know you. So that way you don't have to focus on any friends at all. You don't have to deal with any friends. Period, point blank. It's just you. Okay? And I want you to put on your running shoes. I want you to hit the pavement. I want you to get into the gym and I want you to do the workout. Start feeling good about yourself again. Raise up your energy, your frequency, your vibration. Raise it up. Walk around feeling a little stronger. Start feeling better about yourself. And then I want you to tackle the internal image of yourself. The resentment, I want you to start to work, because resentment just means old information. That's what it is. So it's information that things that happens to you in the past. So it's all information. The programming as well is all information. The old image of yourself, the one that when you open up your mouth, you can see those people on the internet. And when they are talking and you look at them and you be like, I do not want to be anywhere near those people. Thank God that girl is not my neighbor. Thank God this guy is not my friend. Okay? Right. That's the one we are going to work on. And I said mental exercises, meaning that orally you put in the reps. You're going to repeat these things over and over and over. Repetition has to come into play because we are no longer children. And our subconscious mind is no longer open for everything to be downloaded into it like 4 or 5 years. We could spend 4 or 5 years just taking information, really good information. We can't do that right now. We have a conscious mind now. We have a thinking mind now, right? So that's the reason why you cannot just read something one time and then say, oh, got it. If you say you got it, pretty much your conscious mind understands the information, but it did not reach your subconscious mind. And this is when you are like, oh, I've been to all these seminars, conferences. I listen to these people, I read these books and so forth, and your life hasn't changed. Subconscious programming, mental exercises, mental reps will change that for you. And you're going to have to do this every single day for a long period of time. Most people are living the way how they do not want to live, and one of the reasons why I suspect is because people don't understand mental exercise, the mental reps. It needs to happen. You need to put in the work, right? And when you start putting the work, the peace and calm will start to pervade your life. Coming through your life, little by little, bit by bit, piece by piece, you will catch yourself saying certain affirmations. You will just start, they will jump out. And that's when you have to keep on. Once you stop, your old programming just takes over. Yeah. So we do not want it at all. We want the new program to take effect, to take shape, to start running our lives. When that new program kicks in, start running our lives, then we are on track. And doesn't mean we get to stop. It's like if you're going to the gym and you have this nice physique, and then you stop going. What's gonna happen? You're gonna lose that physique. I guarantee you will lose it. Okay, so you can't stop. This thing is lifelong work. It's every single day when you get up for a long period of time. Don't listen to what anybody says. Don't listen to what these guys are telling you that you are going to just become successful and then you just quit and just go sit on your couch and do nothing at all. Not true. Work day in, day out. I'm not saying you should do it like me every single day. Today is 434 days I've been working out. I'm not saying you should do that. Maybe you should, but I'm not saying you should do that. I think you probably should take a couple days off. Take 1 day off or 2 days off or something. What our 3 days off. What works best for you? You work out 4 days a week, you run 4 days a week. What's best for you? I can't tell you what to do because I do my thing different. Okay? So, folks, don't forget like and subscribe while you are here. Ryan here with a new video. Looking forward to see you soon in a brand new video. And we are going to change our lives. We're gonna combine physical exercises with mental exercises, and we're gonna have a new outlook on life. We're gonna feel better about ourselves, show up in the world, show up into the world looking better, start thinking better, and start having better thoughts. Opportunities are there. We are just not developed to see them, and that's the reason why we are struggling. The problems are there. If we solve these problems, we will earn money. They didn't tell us that, but we need to develop ourselves to the point where we can start seeing these problems and then we tackle them and we will earn money later on. Okay. All right then, folks. Ryan here with a brand new live. Looking forward to see you soon, a new live. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.